Hi, I'm Zach Stewart.
Laura Hotchkiss.
And I'm Daniel Kvoras. On this podcast, we improvise in character as hosts of a morning radio show in a fictional country called the Driftwood Isles.
Everything we say is made up, and none of the events, people, or places are real.
It's that simple. Now enjoy this episode of Good Morning Driftwood.
And welcome back to Good Morning Driftwood. Welcome back and good morning. I am one of your hosts. Your horse. I'm one of your hosts. Bench PerDiem. That's my name. And with me as always.
Wait.
No.
We gotta get.
No.
Okay, that sounds like a Nate. We gotta get the Is he secretly a miniature horse testing kit out again.
Balamonte Jones has unleashed so many miniature horses into the community, and some of them have taken up trench coat espionage. It has become difficult to tell who is and is not a miniature horse.
Right.
That voice you're hearing just now is Dirk Wiley.
It's me, Dirk Wiley.
Yep, and if you can just open up so that I can put the thermometer
And
in.
conducting the miniature horse test is, of course, Penelope MacGuffin.
Penelope MacGuffin, of course, doing the look a horse in the mouth test that has become standardized here.
Regular temperature.
Yeah, not a horse.
He's just
Thank
14
goodness.
leagues.
Thank goodness. Regular human temperature.
Regular human temperature. How are you guys doing?
Doing well, Bench.
Better
Doing
now.
great. Reassured. Now that I know that
Good.
we are all human.
We're all. Did you guys take test?
We didn't have to. We
But
didn't.
I'm saying this.
we
Everyone
didn't-
knows where
Yeah.
we are.
That sounds offensive. Do one now.
No, I'm sorry. Unless we.
Why would you say no? You do one now.
Because you came in saying horse,
You said a lot of horsey things.
and then instead of
You're also talking
your
about
nose
bananas.
sounded very naze
Yeah.
to me. Your
You kept
nose
scratching.
sounded.
nose sounded
You kept
naze?
scratching your nose.
Yeah.
You kept scratching your nose.
I got allergies.
What is
That's
that?
such
I
a-
got allergies.
Such a good. That's
Easy
the thing a
answer.
horse would say.
Yeah.
No,
Look-
a horse wouldn't talk.
Don't make me get the testing kit out for a second
You
time.
just did it.
Also, as we were setting up, Penelope made a joke, and you laughed like,
Okay, that's
like
just
you had a little
that's
sort of
just rude.
giggle. You had a
That's-
giggle.
That's just rude.
It sounded horse-like.
It
That's
did.
rude.
I'm sorry to say it. It sounded horse-like.
Well,
It was suspicious. Me and Penelope immediately locked eyes. We're like, did you hear that?
Uh-oh.
Did you
Yeah.
hear that laugh?
but
now
you
we
guys
know.
are mean
Now we
and
know.
rude.
Now we know. It
That
was
you're
just a
mean and
giggle.
rude.
No, now we know that you're a horse.
Well,
you
now
wanna
I
know
know
I'm
that you're mean
very
and rude.
assured that I'm a kind, gentle person, as is Penelope.
Well,
Can I-
As
can
are
I-
you, Bench. Now that I know that you indeed are Bench.
Can I tell you the joke I said earlier that he did the laugh too?
Tell the listeners.
I've been writing Lord of the Rings in my sleep. I guess you could say I've been Tolkien in my sleep.
Yeah, it doesn't work a second time.
You
First time
loved
was
it the
great.
first time.
First time
was
you thought
great.
it was
First time,
hysterical because it's like Tolkien is like talking.
Yeah.
But now you're upset.
Now
so you're
you're
not
in
going to
a
get the
mood.
same reaction.
No, but it's also like I had to be there. It was kind of like the
You had
weight.
to be there. You were there the
You
second
were
time.
there. You
I
were there and
know.
you enjoyed it. Now it's just you feel defensive because we made you take a horse test. That's fair. But now we know you're a human being and not a
I'll
horse.
be honest, I'm not defensive because you made me take a horse test. I'm defensive because of your comment about my laugh.
Well,
Do the laugh again.
sometimes people work on their laugh and improve one. But when you laughed before, it was like,
Rude and mean.
does it not sound? That's not
accurate.
what you always laugh like.
No,
it was just
not
that
all the
laugh.
time.
Normally,
That's
your
why.
laugh is like, give us a normal laugh.
No.
Give us a normal laugh.
No.
That Bench does normally.
If you want to hear me laugh, you need to earn it, Dirk.
Oh, he is in a mood.
In a mood. And this is the thing. I think he's forgetting that we're not saying that Bench is normally horse-like.
No.
We were worried that a horse had secretly
They're
stolen
everywhere.
his
But
identity.
They're
established
everywhere,
that,
Bench.
that has not happened.
Now we have.
We're trying to establish.
Okay, we
They're
gotta move
everywhere.
on.
We
We
just have
gotta-
to be
we gotta keep
vigilant.
going.
Yes, please.
Big news today. The Driftwood Assembly of Maritime Leaders is still sequestered in Conclave and unable to elect a new Grand Admiral for the Driftwood Isles.
This could take a while.
Yeah, I mean, this comes as no surprise since the conclave has been going on uninterrupted for 113 years. Still nothing new. That was, of course, started after the death of the last Grand Admiral, Captain Hector Soulcrusher, more commonly and affectionately known as Captain Soley, who, of course, died of mad cow's disease in 1912 while en route to raid the Titanic. He was too late. and died. The Assembly has really... Maybe I am... Give me another test.
I swear to God. I just hold a Withers Originals out and see if you try and eat it off my hand.
That's the verification.
It looks bad.
That's this level 2 test.
Seems to be okay.
He did not gravitate towards the hard candy.
The Assembly has released a puff of gray smoke to indicate that no new ruler has been selected, just as they have every day for the last 41,214 days.
Why do they bother with the smoke anymore?
Are we sure any of them in that room are still alive?
The smoke comes...
Maybe
like, because it's been a real long time.
They are sequestered.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if they're okay.
Then who gives out the smoke?
I don't know. You could easily set that to like rig up a rudimentary timer.
Smoke. You must be able to automate smoke.
You could really...
I don't know how smoke works, but you must be able to automate it.
Yeah.
Sure. Probably.
They
had no outside contact, and there's been no contact with them. Like, that's the rules.
There you go. I wonder what's taking...
Conclave.
I wonder why maybe they keep dying, or why would it take this long to have a new leader?
Well, they need a 2/3 majority.
So they're just there's a lot of infighting with them. I mean, notoriously fickle, notoriously temperamental. You don't decide to go and attack the Titanic if you're like a chill person. So clearly there's a lot of volatile personalities in this area.
Don't you say that Iceberg wasn't a chill person?
Wow.
I don't know how to react to that.
I'm in awe. That was something that hit so hard that it bypassed my laugh center of my brain and just straight to admiration.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was so good. It didn't need an audible laugh.
Those are the best kind of jokes.
Where you're like, that's funny.
Where you're just impressed.
Yeah, where you're just like, factually, that it feels accurate.
The math of that joke, and I respect it.
I understand.
Yeah.
That's my reaction to that joke.
Respect is the highest form of
humor.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But no new Grand Admiral.
I think the people have gotten used to not having a Grand Admiral.
Yeah.
I think if there was a Grand Admiral now, people would have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Like, where the hell have you been?
Yeah. Where has he been?
Yeah.
Why have you not been around?
It's like if the captain just left the ship and then they got back like 3 years later. It's like, we figured it out without you.
Yeah.
We don't need you anymore. You know? We've moved on as a society.
Is this about your dad?
No, it's not about my dad. Not everything is about my dad.
I bet your dad
was about your dad.
My
God,
I have figured out my life, okay? I don't need an admiral. I don't need Papa, okay? I have figured out my life.
But if he comes back...
Driftwood has figured out how to live without a Grand Admiral.
But if your dad does come back into your life...
He is in my life.
Well...
What?
Is he?
He is in my life. And he contacts me sometimes with ridicule and humiliation.
Rude and mean.
He usually just forwards me press clippings about my brother's film releases. It's under the guise of like checking in, like, here's what's going on with the family. But he doesn't do that to anyone else.
Well, doesn't he also
send it to anyone else? He also sometimes accompanies with a personal note that just says, ha ha.
Also, I'm pretty sure he did say that if you were ever in any form of newspaper or ever anywhere public, he would cut that out or record it and send it as well. But he just doesn't acknowledge this as a public radio show, or, you know, he doesn't respect
didn't he
or
once say,
acknowledge.
I can't cut out airwaves?
Yeah.
Did you say that?
You can't cut out sound. Well, you could if you muted it, but that's...
You also can make audio clips of things.
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah. At one point he did say, I remember early on when we were talking about, you know, pathways for me, he did say, we'll stash you at radio. That was the term that he used.
It's an interesting turn of phrase.
And I was like, oh, yes, where I can grow and develop as a skill.
Well, you thought he meant mustache. And you were like, yeah, I do have a great mustache.
Yeah, that's why
Penny, I respect that.
Thanks.
I committed so hard to growing that mustache. It didn't seem like it was getting me anywhere.
Yeah.
The longer I grew that mustache, my head got very heavy, and I just needed to be free of it at a certain point.
You had a lot of neck problems.
I kept sending him, I did that thing where you take a photo of yourself every day, and I sent it to him every day, and he just stopped replying. And so I like, this isn't going to get me anywhere professionally, so I might as well save my neck problems and cut the mustache off.
It's so weird to me how your mustache just kind of grew straight down like a waterfall.
Yeah, like a vine, it started wrapping around my body.
Yeah. Like a river coming from the top of a mountain.
Yes, like the rivers of Mont Blanc. My mustache cascaded down my chest.
I love that poem you wrote. I think that's a really nice poem.
Mont Blanc, more like Monstache.
What's the opposite?
That's why I wrote the poem.
Disrespect.
That's why it was my poem.
Like
Mont Blanc mustache.
Because you get like, ugh, and then you get ha 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 ha, and then you go.
Respect and
Those
admiration.
are like the 3 levels of replying to a joke, isn't it?
Mm.
So I think I might, with that one, be in the sort of like, ugh.
Yeah.
You accept that. You understand
Yeah,
that.
that wasn't good.
Okay, that's noble.
charm.
I have self-awareness.
That's noble of
I
you.
understand where I stand.
And yet you still said it.
Yeah.
You're comfortable throwing out stinkers of jokes.
Comfortable? No. Do I do it still? Yeah.
So is it a no shame thing for you then?
No, I feel shame.
There's no shame in the
So it
jokes
stings.
game.
So it stings every time.
Yeah.
But good phrase, by the way. That's very quippy.
Huh.
So it stings every time, and yet you persist.
Yeah.
So you want the punishment of it.
No. Do you have any more questions?
Just fascinated by your mind.
Yeah.
Bench.
Cool.
Just kidding.
One of them. One of these days it'll hit.
One of these days you'll make sense to us.
Yes. One of these days we'll crack that code of that beautiful brain of yours.
Oh, I'd like that. That sounds nice.
It's mystifying to me, and just the things that you do and you say, I don't understand it. Why are you?
Why?
That's
Just why?
Isn't that
But
what we all want
one
to
of these
be
days.
for our friends to crack open our brains and get a sense of what it's all about?
Get a tiny,
Yeah.
tiny magnifying glass.
With
and take a
Penelope,
real good
sometimes
look
it's
at
like, wow, I don't understand how you create the worlds of horses and Robert De Niro in your dreams. Like that, I really want to crack your brain open to live in that world.
this. They've still not banned that
And-
Robert De Niro film yet.
I still have it.
No, it's like someone's gonna look at it and they're gonna go, "Whoops, he played 2 characters accidentally," and then they go, "Oh, we can't let people see this. This is an accident."
Mm. See, in your brain, I want to crack that open and swim in those beautiful waters,
Thank you.
much like the waters of the rivers of the Mont Blanc. And then in your brain, I want to crack it open and just see what's going on.
Really shine a
What
torch
is happening here.
into the space.
Hey, you and me both.
All
I'm
right.
a mystery to myself.
Isn't that
You bench the enigma.
the true horrors when you are a citizen sleuth, that you yourself are a mystery to yourself, when your whole
Ooh.
thing is solving riddles and problems, but you yourself are a riddle and problem to you.
Maybe one day you'll solve the greatest mystery of all, your own
Man.
mind.
Oh. I like that.
Let me finish it.
Yeah.
I
I thought
clearly
it was
had a
the most
thing.
dangerous.
more
game.
I
dramatic.
clearly had a thing that I was.
Okay, do it.
Maybe one day you'll solve the greatest mystery of all, Bench. The mystery of your mind. No, not the mystery of Bench. The mystery of
But
your
you
mind. It's
said
the M&M thing. The mystery of mind.
M&M?
No, don't get distracted by
Okay, just do it
candy.
again.
There's not
Third
candy on the table. Maybe one day, my dear friend Bench,
Oh,
you don't interrupt Bench.
that was nice.
Please.
Okay.
Sit this one out, okay? Chill first for just 2 seconds.
Okay.
Maybe one day, sweet, sweet Bench, you will solve the greatest mystery of all, the mystery of your mind. I'll take that one.
Yeah,
It was he
nice.
waited.
That was
There
close
was a
enough.
beat after. He couldn't help himself, but I appreciate the restraint to wait until I had finished my.
Some
Thought.
might say that I could help myself, and I did help myself. Let's go to a break. And we're back. Let's not overthink that. Penny, what you got?
I just wanted to take a quick moment to just acknowledge and show some respect to Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime performance. I just thought it was great and it was magical. Obviously, it's like been a few weeks ago now. Really had a lot of time to digest it. Obviously, ever since Kendrick and I stopped our rap feud, we've been real good pals. And I just really thought it was real nice to see him really just own the stage at the performance.
It's big of you. It's very big of you to.
Honestly, like when I think back to our rap feud, I just think what a silly, silly time that was. Obviously, not that many people know about it.
Your tracks were harsh.
Yeah, and I do regret some of the things I said. Like it was real mean. I
Caught
went
up in the
into
heat
a
of the
real
moment.
yeah. You just he says a mean thing, I say a mean
You
thing.
kept being like, your laugh sounds like a horse.
Hey, at the time, I have grown. I have done the learning, and I have turned around and look, me and Kendrick are super fun pals now. Like
They're buddies now.
We're
on
real
good terms.
great terms.
A mutual respect has formed.
Yeah, I mean,
Lovely.
obviously, it all started when mail was delivered to my house. Like his parcel, he thought it was delivered to my house, but I hadn't actually received it, and it was all like a misunderstanding from the post office.
So he thought you had stolen his mail?
Yeah, he thought I'd stolen a parcel that he was waiting to be delivered, and I was like, why are you still going on about this? It wasn't me. And then he did a diss track, and then I followed it up with a 6-song EP released on multiple formats. Like I think if you're gonna go for something, I am an all or nothing. Go big or go home.
Go hard, go in.
I do have the 8-track version of that. It was really good.
Yeah, and obviously we can never play it in the station because it's just so explicit. And,
Oh yeah.
Very vulgar.
Yeah, and it's, I mean,
Descriptive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then it
paints a picture.
I mean, I can't believe the whole time it was actually that the parcel had been dropped off in one of the bins. So like it hadn't ever actually come to my house. They just put it in what they called a safe place, but it was in one of the bins. And when I found out, I was
in front of your place?
Yeah, I was like, oh, Kendrick, oh, my bad. So sorry. Turns
Not
out it was
entirely
in the bin.
your bad.
No.
I mean,
but
you shouldn't have taken.
I am willing to be the bigger person.
Hey, don't take that on you. The post office should have known that Kendrick Lamar does not live on the island. I don't know how the parcel got here, let alone your house.
It was ridiculous that he
they-
had to travel here to try and find this parcel.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
But like, look,
The Driftwood Postal Service, sometimes they do commandeer other posts.
Yes.
They'll be like, we got this, sort of in the spirit of Driftwood's piracy,
plundering
roots.
ways.
They'll say they talk about market share all the time. They're like, we need more market share of the postal service, and so
they want more non-followers of the postal service to be getting exposed to the Driftwood Isle postal service.
Yeah. So they'll travel to other countries, take their mail, and be like, we got this, we're going to deliver it.
But they'll still leave the card where the mail was supposed to be delivered because they want you to know.
Yeah.
But what they do is they go on their boat, they circle the islands, and they shoot all the parcels towards your house in a cannon.
There was that one time that they had a field day when that one FedEx plane was crashed over the ocean, and all the parcels just dropped, and they found them.
That's why they left that guy. They left that guy in that tiny island for so long because they were just like, no, not you, sir, not you.
They thought he was going to rat them out.
Yeah, so they just left him there for a real long time.
Yeah.
Him and his fun volleyball. Yeah. They're actually a total hoot. Like, if you ever have them at a dinner party, the two of them together.
Group.
Oh,
they're a
so
fun gang. And they have some great stories about places they've been and mail they've stolen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, obviously it was a real heavy 10 days for Kendrick and I. We released just a lot of songs.
That's an intense short-term feud. 10 days back and forth and then rectified.
And we acknowledge now that we both of us really let go of the other things in our lives that are important in order to focus on the feuds, which wasn't healthy. Like I missed a lot of reformer Pilates classes in order to get to because I'd just be in the studio and I'd be like, oh, I know I should. I was making real progress.
How many Pilates courses would you have done during those 10 days if you had not been so consumed by the feud?
1.5.
And
that's a lot.
You really
because
felt
it's about one a week.
Those.
So like
also half. So are you going to one and then leaving midway?
Oh no, I was just treating it as like I go to one about every 7 days. So if it's a 10-day thing, that's about 1.5 classes, isn't
on
it?
Average.
Technically, I think it was 2 because it's usually like a Monday that I go, and the feud very much started on a Monday, so it went across 2 Mondays.
Okay.
But if I'd been going to Reformer Pilates on like a Friday, then that would have only been one Friday. So maybe that's on me to start rap feuds at like a different day of the week in order to not impact other things.
Yeah, next time you start a rap feud, make sure it's on a different day of the week.
Or if someone starts a rap feud with you, just be like, hey, I'm going to get to this. Like, I'm going to get to this rap feud. I'm going to come back at you. I just need to wait until later in the week.
I am going to prioritize my tasks.
Self-care.
Now,
mindfulness.
Therapy.
Your Reformers Pilates is a 45-minute class?
Yeah.
Just making that clear.
Yeah, so 45 minutes.
Definitely know Pilates bench.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Pilates is blown up quite a bit on Driftwood because it's so similar to the word pirates.
Yeah. It is. It's
Just
so,
one letter.
the
Just
very
one
first time
letter.
I went,
All the
I am
difference.
so excited to learn the ways that the pirates used to do to keep fit. And I was very
Mhm.
surprised to find just a lot of matcha drinking women because I was like, this feels like it's very against what I was told pirates
Piracy
were.
has evolved a lot over
It
the years, and I
has.
guess that's just one of the ways.
And that's the way it looks now. And you know what? I support.
Yeah.
Stylish, it's fancy.
Except for the matchas, which I still
Bougie,
don't really
nice.
like.
The matcha, you're not a fan of matcha?
No, still haven't quite worked out. It's acquired taste, and I'm not
Acquired
there yet.
Very much.
Have you
Green.
whipped your own matcha?
No.
It is green, Bench. Very good.
I've never whipped my own matcha. How dare you ask me such a personal question? Wow.
I see what you did there.
It's such a personal question to ask live on the radio.
I'll whip my own matcha in public.
Whoa.
I want people to see. Gets nice and frothy. It's delicious.
It's a family show.
I'm talking about a beverage. It's a bamboo whisk, and you take the matcha powder, and you put it in the liquid, and then you whisk it, and then you whip it up. It's
Here-
just like baking, basically.
Here's a
It's
question.
delightful. I watch. People should see. You clearly are unfamiliar if you thought there was any ulterior meaning to that. You're clearly unfamiliar with it. It should be more of a public thing.
Just
So more people should know about it. It's an innocent, beautiful
I
beverage.
hear you. Question about that.
Sure.
There's a lot of things that are matcha flavored. You know, that is like a lot of different foods and sweets.
I had a
add
matcha
as flavoring.
flavored brownie once and I didn't like it.
Well, here's my question. Is there a matcha flavored?
Penelope did not.
I
I
didn't
really
like it.
felt the grumble in that.
I was
Did
disappointed.
not like it.
Mhm.
Is there a matcha flavored Milkus?
I don't think so.
Penny is
Penelope.
immediately onto the
Penelope
search
is
engine.
on the case. Milkus, of course, has been my favorite beverage for a long time and has recently become the radio station's favorite beverage.
I thought you were going to say sponsor, and I was so excited.
Oh, no. We're still courting
We
them.
want Milkus.
We're waiting.
Please.
Matthias, reach out to their people. Any
Genuinely.
listeners, please reach out to Milkus.
Do we have an email address?
We don't.
We should.
We will at some point.
Yeah.
Reach out to us. Milkus knows how to get to people. If Milkus wants to find you and reach out to you, they're very well connected. They're very savvy. They're very resourceful.
Yeah.
If Milkus wants to reach out,
They're good, ethical company.
very much so. They'll find you. They'll get you. And we'd love if Milkus would reach
Yeah,
out to us.
no
Please.
jokes.
Please, Milkus. We humbly reach out. Yes, go on, Penelope.
They once did a matcha Milkus as an April Fool's joke.
Oh,
As a joke.
Yeah.
hey, that's funny,
Maybe
and
it
we
doesn't
respect
work.
that. We respect them and their
Great joke.
comedy. Good
Hilarious
funny.
joke, Milkus.
Funny.
So funny, Milkus.
I understand.
It's
Milkus,
past, it's up in the I understand, it's past the ha 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 ha, and it's gone fully into like,
Respect and admiration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Milkus, you are such a funny company. Please get in touch.
Break.
Indeed.
And we're back, baby.
And we're back.
Still nothing from Milkus, but we'll keep you posted. Dirk, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm particularly excited about the Hornigold Festival. that's
The
coming up.
who?
oh,
The Hornigold Festival.
hello.
You know, the 3-day festival named not in honor of Benjamin Hornigold, but in dishonor of
Oh.
Benjamin Hornigold, who, of course, was a pirate in the early 1700s, who then became a pirate hunter. And because
That's
the
like-
people of Driftwood believe there is honor among criminals, and one should never turn against your friends and companions, loyalty really is the theme of the festival.
Mm-hmm.
Each resident picks a friend or a partner and ties themselves to each other with a chain as a symbol of solidarity. Of course, tattoo parlors are always fully booked with lovers and friends getting each other's names tattooed. And here at the station, we play You've Got a Friend in Me on the hour, every hour, followed by the Pirates of the Caribbean theme. And of course, at Hornigold's Feast Night, we go around the table and each person announces what they do to anyone that were to ever betray them. Threats, the round of threats. Excited for this year's festival.
Can't wait.
Penny, you look like you have a thought.
I did have a thought.
You can almost see the thought bubble coming out of
Yeah,
Penny's
Boop,
head.
boop, 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 boop.
Penny's so expressive.
Great for radio.
Great for radio.
I think I just need to ponder my thought for a little bit longer until it forms into words. But I was just thinking how disappointing it would be if you were a feared pirate that then became a pirate hunter, but that was just like someone you knew Like, that would be so disappointing for them of all people. Like, if you really respected them and feared them, and then it turned out the whole time they were just scribbling your name in a little bit of paper and telling everyone that you were being naughty. Like, not cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
go on.
Why did no one do that to the post office when they were just stealing all the posts from other places?
Because you're doing pirate.
They're being pirates.
They're being pirate.
But like, hunt them down.
But we like him being pirate.
Yeah, but like, it's really annoying. Sometimes
Are you showing
order
pirate
something.
hunter?
It's difficult in this day and age, you know, because
the morality of it.
Sometimes I think. Sometimes
this is a shocking admission
here. Do you never get really annoyed when like the piracy annoys your day-to-day life? You know,
sometimes, but I respect it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I think I personally
understand it and I respect it.
Yeah.
It's like a joke.
Yeah, like a great joke.
I think I like it better when like it just works for my lifestyle as well. You know, like you have your thing. You have your thing you believe in.
Me?
But don't let it affect my day-to-day life.
Huh. I never really thought about it like that.
Because sometimes piracy is real fun, but then like all those mutinies.
It's true. And that's what happened to Benjamin Hornigold because of his policy to not attack British ships, to try and stay on their good side. And eventually his crew was like, screw this, we want to attack British ships. And they deposed him. And then he's like, well, screw you, I'm going to become a pirate hunter.
I think there's a real tension here because a core tenet of piracy is it's what mine is mine and what is yours is also mine.
Mm-hmm.
I want it, give me it now.
Gimme.
Yeah.
So there's a real like kind of...
But Penny is proposing a philosophy of like, hey, what's mine should remain mine.
I am so sorry. I've realized I've taken us down into like what I can only describe as a heavy political discussion without at any point ringing the heavy political discussion bell. You know, like we've gone into full...
Ring the bell.
It's a bit late now to ring the bell.
Yeah, we'll have to pull it out. It's really heavy. Matthias is shaking his head.
Like cracking it.
Yeah. He looks exhausted in there. I don't think he could lift it.
It's so rare that we go into full political discourse.
Yeah, he'll have to dust it off. We haven't used that thing in ages.
No,
that's true. There hasn't been much to say.
I personally think that sometimes discussing whether a tiny horse, what their height is actually a political act in itself. But Matthias was like, that's just simple mathematics.
I'm genuinely trying to remember, when was this discussion?
I'm kind of getting really frustrated with Matthias, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Can we...
Mutiny?
You said it. My mind was there.
Yeah.
But the fact that you said it kind of feels like we're on the same page.
The mutiny clock has been, not reset for a very long time.
Yeah.
Some might say we're overdue for a mutiny.
It's been
some might say
6 days since our last mutiny.
And he's put a cage over it.
Why would he do that?
That's not going to stop us. He's shaking his head. He's shaking his head no. Like, don't you do it. Don't you do it.
There is one thing that you are allowed to do on Driftwood. It is to mutiny when and wherever you decide to mutiny.
It's true. It's in the Constitution.
It's literally an enshrined right.
Indeed.
It's most of the Constitution.
To mutiny against Matthias would argue that he was the power.
That's true. If we mutiny against him,
that is an admission.
Then is that an admission that he actually is
the power?
De facto. That means that
we've been fighting amongst each other to fill the power vacuum that is this show,
and we didn't realize
he might be the actual power.
Yeah, let's mutiny.
I say we do it. I don't know what effects this might have on the show.
Well, I think we should all take a long break and figure this out, and we will let the listeners know when we come back just what happened. Are we all okay with that?
I'm just going to remain very calm and stay here and definitely not mutiny against Matthias. What about you guys?
I'm going to be very calm and considered and definitely not get the mutiny key
and he should
out of the drawer.
For sure be lulled into a false sense of security.
Yeah, let's keep this normal. Let me read our sponsor before we go to a break, as we do always and normally.
What a very good normal idea, Bench.
Yes.
Ah.
Good Morning Driftwood is brought to you by Ruffle Duffle's Awful Truffle Waffle House. Looking for a place to celebrate your 17th wedding anniversary when you're just starting to get worried the spark might be gone? Look no further than Ruffle Duffle's Awful Truffle Waffle House. Did your daughter turn 12 and you remembered that bat mitzvahs are actually celebrated a year earlier than bar mitzvahs? Ruffle Duffle's Awful Truffle Waffle House has got your back. Dog funeral, Ruffle Duffle's Awful Truffle Waffle House, Ruffle Duffle's Awful Truffle Waffle House. We're open. And we'll be right back as normal with Good Morning Driftwood.
Good Morning Driftwood is executive produced and hosted by Zach Stewart, Laura Hotchkiss, and Daniel Kvoras. Engineered and produced by Zach Stewart. Music by Daniel Kvoras.